Welcome to series Architects Talk with Kalebodur. Today we have a very special guest. He came long way from Reyhanlı, I think. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Dr. Chen-Yu Chiu.
Thank you so much.
Is it the correct pronunciation?
Yes.
Okay.
And of course,
but
everyone just call me Cho.
Cho. Yeah.
Cho.
Is it the short form of your name, or is it?
True.
Is it
because Chen-Yu is first name and Chiu is a family name.
Chiu is a family name.
But
okay.
everyone call me Cho.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll call you Cho.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When I look at your CV, actually, I mean, it is, you have been lots of places, different places, all together. First, you studied architecture in Taiwan, as I know, and then you went to Colombia for master's, then PhD at Melbourne, but you have connections with Munich and as well as Bilkent, Ankara, which is my neighbor university, let me say.
That's true.
So, I mean, it is a great opportunity actually to see all these different educational systems, places, architecture at a time. So it must be a great accumulation in that sense. But you came front with a very unique project, of course, that now you are ongoing, I think, in Reyhanlı. It was a very significant effort that you put.
Thank you so much.
And it was, you designed and built a community center for not only Turkish citizens, but also refugees and Syrian people. And it was a very interesting architecture.
Thank you so much.
You also worked as a researcher at Aalto University.
True.
I forgot that.
The postdoc researchers.
Yeah. Let me start with this very classical question. What takes you to this geography?
I see myself in the past 20 years is like an academic refugee. Try to pursue my study, try to find a job to survive, try to see the world, try to meet different kind of people, understand different way of life. So I try to survive, and I always got a new job, new opportunity in a new country I never visited before. And 7 years ago, I think it's my great fortune. Beacon University established the Department of Architecture, and they have a tenure track position for the professor in history and criticism. I applied, and fortunately, I got a position. I started work at the Beacon University. At the same time, the Taiwan government donated a small amount of money, $400,000 try to build a project at Reyhanlı. But during that time, unfortunately, we cannot find an architect because we have suicide bombing, we have refugee crisis, we have rocket attack. More importantly, there's no budget for architect design a building. Then Ambassador Yasser Chang, he is a very sincere Muslim. He asked me, Cho, can you give us a help? Because there's no architect want to take this job. And I say, I'm not an architect. I never designed and built any building in my life before. I'm just an architecture historian. But I say, I would like to try. So I use my own saving and bring my student to the side. 7 years ago, we started to work on this project.
And so you become familiar with the neighborhood, a new environment. You came a part of it, as far as I understand, because you have lots of pictures with the local people, and even this bag.
Yes,
it's a very special bag because it is. I think it is handcrafted with local people.
Yes, local.
So it is something more than architecture. I think it is a organization first of all, but it is a cultural issue. It's a social issue. It is an integration project. It is also a technical project as well. But I mean, it's a very interesting project to move on. So then you decided to go there and started things, and then the project itself is very interesting, I think, in terms of its language, in terms of its tectonics, in terms of it is materials. Maybe when we publish this interview, we can also put the pictures
Sure.
of the project
Sure.
while editing so that everybody can see. As far as I understand, you use the walls,
Yes, the border wall.
border walls that are designed to separate two countries and avoid people to
True.
come here, but then you turn them into a kind of a hosting environment. I think
True.
that is philosophically a very important statement.
True. It's a philosophical and also political, because we have a resource to build a wall, the military facility to separate people. Why we use the same resources, transform the military facility into humanitarian facility? War not separating the people, the war bring everyone together. But of course it is also very practical, because Rehangla is in the middle of an earthquake zone. The in situ concrete on site, the quality is very bad. Of course, we also have a very, very limited budget, only $400,000. But each concrete block, 4 meters high, 2 meters in width, 11 ton, only costs $500, including transportation, including the lifting process. Then it's a military facility, so strong, can against the rocket attack, car bomb, suicide bombing, and more important, it's very heavy, can against the earthquake. So suddenly, the perfect military facility can be the perfect humanitarian facility, combined with very important, like what you said, political humanitarian message to everyone.
Yeah. Is it taken? The message, is it taken, do you believe, when you talk with the local people?
I have a conversation, because this building we built is with the 11th proposal we delivered. The first 10 proposal we totally failed, because of the municipality, the mayor, the parliament member, the local politician don't like it. But when I say I want to use the border wall to build the biggest public building in the Rehangla, the mayor, Mr. Hajiolu, he looked at me. This is crazy. Border wall. And then I tell to him, the wall separate people. Why not we use the wall to bring everyone together? More importantly, Mr. Hajiolu, you will become the craziest mayor in history in Turkey. And he said, I like this idea. I will be the craziest mayor in history of Turkey. Let's do it. Then I say, if we are sincere to help the local community try their best to help me. And let me tell you a secret. I only have $400,000. Even this building has no proper foundation. There's no budget. But at least we need a soil foundation, 60 centimeters. Then we put a bypass. Then we can do the concrete slabs, right? This soil, it costs $100,000. I only have $400,000. And I asked the mayor, can you give us 100,000? Because there's no soil foundation. We cannot build anything. Then the mayor said, Chiu, money we don't have.
But we can do that.
We can do that. But in condition, Chiu, come back to Ankara for 2 weeks. You cannot stay in Rehangla. I don't know why. After 2 weeks, I come back. The soil is ready. The roof constructor, and he tell me, Chiu, ask the mayor where the soil come from. I go to the mayor's room. Dear Mr. Mayor, where the soil come from? He said, I won't tell you. Come on, guys, you already did it. Chiu, you know, we don't have a high-quality soil foundation from Hatay. We don't have budget. So we negotiate with the military. They open the border. We send our truck and heavy machinery. We go to Syria. We steal the soil and put it back. And I say, Mayor, you steal the soil from Syria. And he said, Chiu, you are stupid. They are Syrian. They enter the Taiwan center. They stay on top of the Syrian soil. Everyone is coming home.
They use their own soil.
And this is how we build a building. We build a building together with the community.
And within the continuation, now what are you doing in Reyhan?
Because 4 years ago, we finished the first phase of construction with a budget of $400,000. The building is not completed. Both Taiwan and Turkey government has no budget either complete the building or manage the building. So they say, Chiu, this is Taiwan Center. You are Taiwanese. You should take a responsibility. So we sign a contract. I should work as a lifetime volunteer for this project to collect the money, to finish the building, and also manage the building.
What is the response of the local people? Do they help you?
I say everyone help me in a different way. Or I should say the biggest help I have is they trust me.
That's very important, I think.
And they trust me whatever I want to do. Even sometimes they say, we don't understand this time what Chiu is talking about, but we believe Chiu must have some idea, some reason to do this. So that's why we listen to him, let him do it. And I say, I never expected like this. But we really do whatever we want to do, and the local community really support us a lot.
So now you are established in Reyhan and you are living there.
Yes.
Okay, that's very nice. That's very interesting, actually.
Thank you.
But as you said, I mean, you are coming from a neighboring sub-area, which is architectural history and criticism.
True.
So with those glasses, when you look at Turkish cities, what was your basic observation or idea? It's a big question. You can use the rest of the time.
I say there's a, we are all teachers in universities, right? I say not only in Turkey, it's around the world. We have some problem, limitation in our architectural education. The first is a narrow-minded professionalism. We are architects. We should design a house and then supervise the construction. But we never think where the money comes from. How do we get the land? How do we negotiate the one who has money? How do we have a strategy to negotiate with politicians to secure the land? Professionalism. We are only doing the thing we believe we should do. We don't think about before and after. The second thing is we have this so-called...
We are too concentrated with the building itself.
That's true.
Not the process.
That's true. And then the second thing is, I should say, it's kind of selfish, scientific utilitarianism. We want to enter the best university, again, because we have examination, we have a score. The best university, best department, depends on how much salary you will get it. So that means through our lifetime, through our education, everything is about score, about number. Is that right? And then we never think about what kind of meaningful thing we should do. We always pursue the score. Higher score, higher amount of money, even buy the better car because the car is more expensive with a higher score. Then the third thing is the ruthless of capitalist consumerism. Especially for the architect, we only serve the one has money, has the power. And my question is very simple. Who serve the one, the weak one? Has no money, have no power, even have no nationality?
I think that's one of the key questions which is gaining more and more importance as the time passes within the conflicting situation. I think that's an essential question, I think.
We are living in a gradually divided society. The equality of life never exists. Yeah. After Bauhaus, after the so-called modernism, after 100 years, what do we have? The same question. The dignity, the basic human right of dwelling in the urban surrounding, still a question. Now, my question is very simple. What do we have done? Or what should we have do in our architecture education? Of course, it's so easy for us to criticize everyone. But I say, why not, Chiu? You shut up and you take an adventure. You take an action to see what will happen.
The real meaning of criticism is actually about understanding, first of all. Understanding the dynamics and different inputs and bringing them together, so unveil or the mythological, let's say, abstract values that are co-created. So that's, I think, very important to understand the background. in this sense, I mean, architecture has always been, but it's becoming more and more a legitimate ground rather than being an initiative or a force
True.
of itself.
True, that's true.
So, I mean, the educational model, as far as I see, is enforcing that mythological, let's say, artificial definition of architecture, which embraces that legitimate power, nothing else.
Either we serve the nation-state ideology, or we serve capitalist consumerism. No more.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is very simple. How about the social dimension of architecture? How do we use architecture as a strategy, as a mechanism to bring back the equality of human life?
Mm-hmm.
How architects should negotiate with a politician, play with media, and convince the one has the resources. But all this we didn't teach, even we didn't question in our very fundamental architecture education. Isn't whoever pays us, we provide a service.
Independent from the impact of that service.
True.
That's true, but I mean, it's not unique to Turkey, of course. I mean, it is
everywhere.
It is the same, and it is maybe in some geographies it's more brutal in that sense.
In Taiwan, for example.
I don't know the case very much in Taiwan. Especially, I mean, they are using the same model and mode of production, so it necessitates the same architectural service or architectural mode of behavior.
True.
In that sense, I think.
True.
So, I mean, after the earthquake, things has been changed in that region, I think.
Yes.
So, I mean, what was your experience about the damage of the earthquake?
In my life, I never see such kind of casualties. Before the earthquake, Reyhanlı is 100,000 Turkish citizens.
Were you there at that time?
Yes.
You were in
Yes.
Reyhanlı?
Yes.
Ah.
Before the earthquake, is 100,000 Turkish citizens received 150,000 Syrian refugees in the town at Reyhanlı. After earthquake, there's another wave, 200,000 Syrian refugees enter Reyhanlı. The rental price for a single apartment, the rental price is 10 times higher.
Unbelievable.
They have no place to go. They have no place to go. And I say, we are so lucky. We survived.
Mm-hmm.
The building didn't damage. And we are so lucky to see the testimony of so-called humanity. I have been Antakya so many times. There's no Antakya anymore. And I say, let's try our best. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but at least let's try our best. From the first day the earthquake happened, it's around 5 a.m. something, the first shake is right. We opened the center at 7 a.m. on the same day. No one ordered us to do anything because during that time everything is shut down.
Yeah.
We opened the door for the center. We turn on the generator. We start to accommodate the survivors, provide the food, hot waters, toilet, anything. We spend all the cash we have in our hand, and we say, let's fight until the last moment comes. Because during that time, no one knows what will happen tomorrow. So we host 2,000 survivors, 500 outside, 1,500 inside. We don't know what will happen, but we say we try our best. You know, before the earthquake, people, the neighborhood, they don't like this building. Joe, this building occupied the parkland. And now you tell me it's a refugee center. Now you tell me it's a concrete block. But last year, after the 6th of February, because so many people comes, and we provide a lot of help, now people understand this building will never collapse. This building will always open and accommodate whoever needs help.
It's a shared ground.
You know, 6 months ago, we have another shake around 5.2 at half time on Sunday morning. suddenly 200 people immediately enter the center. They understand this center will always open and always serve the community.
And it's a place that we can be safe and contact with other people. So it's a gathering place, etc. I think that's I think very important in that sense. Then of course, inevitably, you also, besides this specific building, I mean, you are also tackling with the issues of earthquake and related architectural issues.
True,
there.
true. Because when we design the building, I ask everyone, according to the map, we are in the middle of earthquake zone. The border between Turkey and Syria, there are several gaps, Then we say, why this building, all the surrounding building is not qualified according to the quantity of metal mesh, according to the thickness of the column, according to the quality of the concrete. Nothing is qualified. The people say, Chiu, almost 100 years we don't have earthquake, don't worry about it. And I say, no, I come from a country, we have earthquake. Devastating earthquake. So that's why it become one of the reasons we apply the concrete block, because it's so heavy, the base is so big. Then we do the calculation. When the earthquake comes, reach scale 7 or even 8, the building will not collapse.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Heavy.
I've seen the structure. Yes, that's.
So that's why I say, it must be a safe building. If one day the earthquake comes, and unfortunately, the earthquake it really comes.
What is the post-disaster situation?
I feel everything is getting worse and worse. The hatred between different groups of community, the harsh economic situation, jobless, inflation of everything. I always tell my colleague, we don't know how long we can continue, but they just let us fight until the last moment to come. We try to deliver as much as a job, especially to the displaced and the disadvantaged women, because the women are taking care of their kids. The women, most of them are widows. The kids are orphans. Give a job to the mom. The kids still have a hope.
So it's more than architecture, inevitably. I mean, you have to tackle with all these social and other issues. But there are, I mean, lots of ongoing projects, and even there is an immediate construction had been started.
Container city, that kind of things.
In Hatay,
yes, true.
Especially. There are, of course, I mean, great number of people who are supporting that activity, but there are also criticisms.
True.
Because, I mean, needs a more in-deep, serious planning and project period with collaboration, contributions,
True.
and expertise.
True.
But I mean, most of the criticism is that it's not like that. What is your impression about that?
I like what Sir Peter Cook, when he commented on our project, and he said, there's a very, very curious local sensitivity inside this project. And this project is not just about top-down. Actually, it's a bottom-up process combined with the top-down. And he said, it's such a simple building, but it allowed many things can be happen with the local sensitivity. And what I say is, yeah, it is an architectural project, but more importantly, this is a community development. By building the center together, actually we are trying to build a community to bring back the lost trust between human beings.
Yeah.
If we say we are more specifically, now we almost run out of social capital. People don't trust people. People don't trust government. People don't trust NGO. especially on site. And losing the social capital will definitely make the society almost collapse. But how do we, by building the center together, bring back or build up this social capital? Let people believe we still can live together. We still need to work together. That's the only way there can be a hope. And that kind of mentality is very, very important. It doesn't matter Syrians or Turkish. They should work together. That's the only way we can survive together. And that's, I always think, how should we use the architecture, design, construction, even the related humanitarian relief work to build a community, to build a trust?
I think we not only use lost lives, buildings, money, but at the same time, identity, trust, and maybe some issues like belongingness, of course, the connection with the context and things like that, because many of my friends living there now, even though things rebuilt in that environment, it won't be the same city anymore. So I mean, that's going back to local sources, I think, essential and vital in that sense, I think. And I hope we will understand it within time and things will become better. But I think, I mean, it's a very important effort that you put, and it's a very unique project.
Thank you so much.
Influences in a multiple way, not only architectural way, as I follow, as much as I follow.
Thank you so much.
You actually, I mean, before that, you were more concentrated on architectural history and criticism,
True.
as I said
True. True.
earlier.
True.
There was a lot of work trying to connect, for example, John Utzon's
Yes.
buildings
Yes.
to other cultures and
True.
topographies.
True. That's true.
Can you a little bit talk about that? That was very interesting as a model of thinking in architectural history, because I mean, you are changing the context and
Totally.
yeah.
You know, when I was young in the college, I read the Professor Kevin New's book, Frank Lloyd Wright in Japan, the role of a traditional Japanese art and architecture in the work of Frank Lloyd Wright. I was getting shocked. How could it be possible? Japanese art and architecture inspired Frank Lloyd Wright so much. And I say, if that's the case, then how about Chinese architecture?
Not limited with his hotel building, in general, you mean?
Yes, yes. Then you know, I studied at Columbia University, and my supervisor is Kenneth Frampton. And he looked at me, Chiu, do you know there's a book called 应教发誓, published 900 years ago? I said, I know this book. Did you know when Wuzhen designed the Sydney Opera House, this classical Chinese, you know, imperial building manual actually provided him a lot of inspiration? And I said, are you sure? And he said, I'm very sure. Chiu, you are young. You come from China? I said, no, it's the same. Taiwan, China is the same thing. You should visit Wuzhen's family. Maybe Wuzhen will open the door and tell you what happened. So that's why I take his letter, pursue my PhD, I go to Denmark, and I met Wuzhen's family. They really opened the door, tell me what happened. What happened to the Sydney Opera House, and what is the role of Japanese Chinese architecture in the lifetime career of Wuzhen. I say I maybe spent 15 years studying his work, and the center we built together, the Taiwan Center, more or less is our interpretation of Wuzhen's additive architecture in 1970s. It's Wuzhen teach me how to be an architect and teach me how to fight with the politicians. An architect should have your own dignity and never give up and believe what should you believe. I learned from Wuzhen, from everything.
And then, I mean, vice versa, you worked on East Asia influences on Nordic architecture.
Yes, that's true. Because, before and after First and Second World War, the role of China, Japan, more or less play a very, very important role combined with the national romanticism movement in the Nordic country, especially in Denmark, in Sweden. So that's why I try to explore from different perspective or perception to see Nordic architecture, and also try to understand Nordic architect, including Alvar Aalto, how do they perceive China or Japan, especially Japanese architecture. Definitely inspired Alvar Aalto in 1975, his own house. It's a lot. So I try to change our position, and through this so-called cross-cultural study, and this kind of cross-cultural position, sometimes in history become the driving force, transform the architectural culture. That's it make Alvar Aalto become today's Alvar Aalto. If there's no Villa Maria in 1938 without the Japanese influences, Alvar Aalto won't be the Alvar Aalto. If there's no Chinese architecture written by Oswald Seren, architecture historian, we don't have a Sydney Opera House today. So cross-culture becomes trans-culture, and that's my interest. So maybe this kind of dramatic or radical cross-culturalism or trans-culturation give me the faith or strength to build, to design the center, either further manage the center. I'm in a cross-cultural position. I want to do something meaningful to transform this society with a better future.
I think that cross-culturality is very important on one hand, but in this global world, cultural references are somewhat losing their origins, and they are in a very artificial way.
Like Hollywood franchise movies, right?
Yeah, they open to consumer culture, so they have all their abstract, reduced versions of cultural products that are open to, so anything goes in that sense.
So that's why I believe, as an architect, as a designer, deeply, critically engage with the local community should serve as a foundation to initiate, to design anything. And this is what I learned from Gary Merker. That's he tell me, Chiu, if you don't eat the food on that side, if you don't talk to the neighbor on that side, if you don't know what kind of animal will fly over the sky about the side, if you don't know any animal will crossing the land over the side, you have no chance, no power to design anything on that land.
But you also say that one of the reasons for being in Turkey is the food.
The kebab in Hatay is very good, and also personally, I like a Kalebodur'un a lot. Some of my colleagues don't like it, but I really like Kalebodur'un. So that's why I say, engage with the local community. It's such an important thing. If we don't understand who they are, what they want, what they need, their difficulties, their struggle, how do we initiate something, build something? But if we look at the design, the syllabus, the curriculum of our studio, students visit the site only once. Few months later, the project is done. It should never like this way. Even we don't know who they are.
Yeah, I think that's very important. What about what's happening in East Asia? It's on one hand, it's an emerging geography in terms of it is industry and wealth, and things are very rapidly changing, and all these, on one hand, read as something very positive and good, but on the other hand, things are transforming themselves to a kind of a maybe global culture and sense. Do you still have connections with the home country and
Yes.
geography?
Yes, because of the work of the center, I become back to East Asia more and more frequent. Almost every 2 months, I need to back to Taiwan, Japan, Singapore to do the crowdfunding event. And I say, especially people from Japan and Taiwan, we are islanders. And we are more or less experience a lot of natural disasters. Even, I should say, even from today, we never out of a threat of the war. My grandparents, they are war refugees. My grandparents migrated from China to Taiwan in 1949. I am the second, third generation of the refugee. Maybe all this experience make we maybe have more experience about what we are talking about. Refugee crisis, natural disaster, earthquake, community reconstruction. That's almost become part of our life. Every year we have a natural disaster. Typhoon, torrential rain, earthquake, tsunami. Maybe that's the reason I can contribute something from very far away from Taiwan on this land, in Turkey, in Rehanda. And also because what I feel is people in Turkey, especially in Rehanda, people are warm, collective. And maybe that's because of the legacy of Islam. Or maybe it's the legacy of imperialism. Maybe that's the legacy of a big continental empire. That kind of warmth, warm heart, collective kind of mentality. And then they trust me. They believe, Chiu, sometimes we don't understand what you are talking about, but we believe that this must have some reason behind. So do it.
How was your experience with the Turkish architectural students?
I see there's a hope. And I must say, without the contribution and effort of my student or our student from Peking University, I cannot do anything. I want to emphasize, they work as a volunteer. You know, before we go to the site, conduct the construction, 1 month before we have suicide bombing. The car exploded, unfortunately, next to our site. The student tell me, Chiu, we are Muslim. Everything is a destiny. Something happened, we go to heaven. We don't afraid. And I say, are you sure? I said, sure. Okay, no problem. Next week, I buy the ticket, let's go together. Then they raise their hand. Chiu, we still have one problem. I said, what's the problem? Chiu, you will go to hell. Why I should go to hell? Chiu, because you are not Muslim. And I said, we have that kind of student. Can you imagine? No payment, volunteer, summer internship. Suicide bombing happened 1 month ago on the site. And that's the hope of Turkish architecture.
That's very important. And what about the educational system? Comparing with the other places that you have visited and been?
From the history of Taiwan, the trend of architecture significantly transformed after 1999 devastating earthquake in Taiwan. The younger generation start to believe there should be another way approach to architecture, approach to community, approach to reconstruction work. Reconstruction is not a responsibility of a government. Reconstruction is everyone's responsibility.
I think that's one of the most significant issues.
And also, 1999 is a critical point because the economy boom of Taiwan finished on that year. Suddenly, the architect realized, architecture, be an architect, you cannot make a lot of money. You should never earn a lot of money from this career. That's economy boom. That's a real estate developers gain. We should work as a different kind of architect. My professor, they are the best architect. after the 1999. They teach me how to be an architect. Do the practice with a significant social dimension. You serve your people. You are not serve the money and power. You serve the people. The weak one, the one have nothing, even the one has no nationality. And that is what architect should do. I believe now in Turkey, the new generation will come, will learn. They will do something very, very different. They will not destroy it by the ruthlessness of capitalist consumerism. They will not be attracted by the real estate developers, this kind of selling and buying game.
So there is a critical consciousness about it. Do you believe that?
I believe it. I believe it. I also believe now in China, the coming generation of the young architect, they will understand architect can do far much more than what we can imagine.
It was a very nice, actually, conversation with
Thank you.
Is there anything that I forget to ask, or you prefer to talk with me or to say something about? Are there any other issues?
I say, I never expected I will be interviewed by someone. And I say, sometimes I feel the environment is so dark. And sometimes I tell myself, I don't see a hope. I don't see a guidance. And sometimes I feel I'm so alone. Why? But for now, I understand. I have some friends taking care about these issues. And taking care about what we have done, even if it's very small. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you very much. It was good to know you. It was a pleasure. Hope to see you again.
Thank you.
In some other events. Maybe we will visit you in Reyhanlı.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.